So, Callum,
Andy,
welcome back to the Value Proposition Podcast.
it's been so long that you had to check the board.
Check the magnificent sign we've got.
We do have a great logo. The more I
Sign,
look
yeah.
at it, the more I realize how impressive it is.
100%.
That's
And
Starbucks.
to the viewers, welcome back to the Value Proposition Podcast.
Yeah, welcome back. Thank you, guys.
You may notice it has been a minute,
Yeah,
probably a month or so since the last
I
episode.
think it's actually been a month, almost exactly.
Couple of reasons for that.
That's fair.
We've been busy for a start. We
Of course.
started a new business in the last episode.
Yep.
Was that the last episode?
Yeah,
Yeah, which we will definitely talk about
100%.
today. Stay tuned till the end. And to be fair, we did record an episode last week,
Yep.
but there was issues in the podcast studio, which these things happen, so
Yeah, it's life.
it's all good. And here we are,
We're here.
double dunter. We're going to do two
Don't know
back
what
to back. Yeah, I sometimes forget you're
Yeah,
American.
I know. It's fine. It's fine. I just play along.
So yeah, anyway, how have you been? What
I was
have you
about
been
to
up
ask you the same thing.
Well, I got there first.
Okay, fair. I will tell you that I have been very busy. Obviously, been in the States. Pretty nice.
Hmm. Don't rub it in.
I know. I was tan before I got back here, and now I'm fucking pale again. I
Perks of living in Scotland, bud.
know. The weather's been so nice recently. I like the gray skies.
It's actually okay today. And it was
See,
okay
but
yesterday.
see, that's the thing. Is like everyone's been telling me, oh, yeah, no, this is really nice. It's very mild. I'm like, I'm freezing.
Yeah,
I'm
but you're not.
literally
Yeah,
freezing. But other than that, business-wise, more importantly, business-wise, everything has been pretty good. A lot of developments that we've been, focused on for sort of Florida-based business. Most notably, a really good project in Central America. Yeah, we'll be moving there. I think there's a very good chance. Possibly, I don't know.
yeah.
Anyways, so really, really excited about that. And then, some other things are kicking around that, stuff we've touched on before, but I can't necessarily say.
Yeah, we can't
But,
say too much. Yeah, but definitely.
they're moving along nicely, and the future's looking bright. So, tell me what's going on with Andy.
What's going on with Andy?
Yeah.
Great question. How
Where
long have we
do we
got? No, yeah, just busy at work.
Yeah.
We together have started a new business.
We have.
That we've been kind of busy planning. I would say we're in the planning
Yeah.
stage. We
Yeah.
certainly will. So for anyone who didn't watch the last episode, in the last episode we started a new business. So we got ChatGPT we asked ChatGPT a couple of things. It gave us some business ideas. We settled on a consulting firm.
Yeah.
Value Proposition Consulting.
Yeah.
So we are now in the middle of building that business up. So we're going to consult on real estate.
100%.
Real estate agencies, estate agencies, brokerages, real estate agents.
Yeah.
So step one for us is to build a course, which we will start or a coaching program to help
Yeah.
new agents, maybe experienced agents that are struggling, maybe in a bit of a rut, not sure what to do, not sure how to generate new business. That will be there to help them. Not be expensive.
No.
Test the market, see how things are, and then we'll move from there. So we'll certainly keep everyone updated. We'll maybe go into a bit more information, and I'm sure we will go into a bit more information later on in the episode too.
It's exciting.
But
Super
yeah, so
exciting.
we've been up to that. What else have I been doing? I'm back playing ice hockey.
Fantastic.
That's it's good fun. I'm enjoying it again, and it's
Yeah.
busy. I'm traveling a lot just now because I'm living in Aberfeldy for work in
Right.
Kenmore. Then I'm back in Dundee Wednesday night, Thursday night for hockey, and then I'm back at the weekend for training. And I'm in Glasgow now, probably once or twice a week, meeting with the big guy over here. Oh
Good
yeah.
luck when you said that.
So yeah, I'm traveling a lot just now.
You're
I'm
doing
doing
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
travel.
miles.
I'm not doing that.
No,
by the
you're
way.
doing jack shit.
I'm doing literally fuck all, but it's a lot easier for me.
Yeah. So-
I live close by.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but it's good. I mean, I love it. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I like being busy.
Yeah,
And what we're doing is good fun.
it
and I
is.
think that we're both excited about it, which is the main thing.
Yeah, I think it could be helpful for some people, and I think other people will, probably laugh at us about it. But at the end of the day, I mean, we're trying to do something a bit unique, and just expose different avenues to generate income for yourself. You could call it a side hustle, you could call it whatever you want. But if something gets big enough, it could be your main business.
100%.
And we're getting good advice from other people as well. I mean, the website,
Darren,
shout out,
Jude, yeah,
huge.
100%.
So good.
100%. I mean, yeah. Again, we'll touch on that later in the episode. But
if I can say, I don't know if we're allowed to say, but that's kind of part of what we also want to bring to this sort of business we're starting, is this sort of sense of helping each other out, community. Mm-hmm. And I think that we're already doing that without even having anything ready.
100%. Yeah.
So
yeah.
Because networking, it's networking.
We're building pathways for other people as well, which I think is important.
Yeah.
And I hope that, especially kind of from the last episode, if anyone does want to start a business, I mean, it can be a scary thing to do.
Sure.
We kind of, we met and we had some food earlier, and we were talking about so many people in business and it's come up a couple of times for me over the last couple of months. I've spoke to, since we've started this podcast, to be honest with you, like, people have been asking me about different businesses, and it seems to me that people are scared of two things. For a start, they're scared to fail.
Sure.
And secondly, they're scared of what other people think. Now, in business and in life, you just cannot be afraid to fail, and certainly you shouldn't give a fuck what other people think, because you're just on a road to nowhere. For a start, failure is part of success. You need to fail. You need to try things. You need to fail in order to be successful. The chances of you doing one thing and being successful right away are pretty much nil.
Yeah.
Failure is a part of success. It's just a fact. And why would you care about what other people think about you? A lot of people are scared because they may fail, and they're scared of what other people think about them failing.
Wow. Okay, so they're tying into
They're tied together,
right?
yeah. They're scared about people thinking about what they think.
Because I was going to ask you, what do you think people are afraid of?
Well, they're afraid of the way that people view them if they fail.
So perception.
Perception, 100%. Sure. But the thing is, you could fail at 4 or 5 different things and then be successful at the one thing, and nobody will remember any of the things you failed at.
Yeah, well, it takes me back to a conversation we've had in the past, and you were telling me all the things that you started or tried to do and failed at.
I mean, I can run through them right now. I modeled for a bit. I modeled for a bit. I actually did okay at that, but I couldn't get busy enough to do it full time.
I guess in Dundee, you would do pretty well.
No, I was in Glasgow. The agency I was signed with. I've seen
some of the talent around here, by the way. You fit right in.
Well, the agency I was signed with was Glasgow based.
Okay.
It was on Hope Street. I don't know if you know where that is. But anyway, so it was Glasgow based. But anyway, I couldn't get busy enough to do it full time. Right. So I tried that. I was signed with an agency, it never worked out. Okay. I was a personal trainer for about 6 months, never worked out. That's failed
tough,
at that.
By the way.
It's a tough gig, yeah.
That's tough.
I worked at the hotel. I wouldn't say I failed at that, but I stopped doing
Something
that.
you moved on from.
Exactly, yeah. I tried selling steel for a couple of months. I worked as a sales guy selling steel, H-beams, I-beams. Yeah. Didn't come to anything.
Sure.
Wasn't very successful at that. Then I fell into real estate, which I've done okay at. Yeah. And since real estate, I tried to start a marketing agency, which I never even really gave it enough. I never even put the work in. It was just a half-ass attempt. Yeah. I tried selling luxury watches like Rolexes.
Like a secondary market?
Yeah, secondary market, okay. Yeah. I did okay, but it wasn't a success. I never lost any money, but it wasn't a success. Right. And I started a clothing brand. Again, I never lost any money, but it wasn't a success. Okay. All these things you could say I failed at, but nobody remembers about any of those things that I've failed at. They just think about real estate. And that's the same with everyone else too. You could start 10 or 12 different businesses, fail at them all, be successful at the 13th, and everyone will forget about the 12 that you failed at because you were successful in the 13th. Yep. And I don't care about how many times I fail. I don't care about what people think about. I mean, think about this. We decided we're going to start a podcast on a Thursday, and we booked the first session on the Monday. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't think about.
We weren't thinking about
what if this podcast fails.
It wasn't necessarily about winning or failing. It was or success and failure. It was more about just
do what you want to do.
Let's do it.
Do what you want to do,
and people will like it or they won't, and
of
it's
course.
up to them. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna enjoy it, and some people will take stuff away, but it's for us.
100%. And listen, I would much rather have tried and failed than not tried at all. Failure is a part of success. You need to go through the failure. That's when you learn. You don't learn if you just success after success after success. It doesn't happen. You need to go through failure in order to get the success.
Well, the other thing for like podcasts, right? Like think about Joe Rogan, right? He's the most successful podcaster. Rightly so. He's the king of the land, and that's fine. But he also he had a following for, I don't remember exactly when he started his podcast. Let's just say it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I don't know, something like that. But he was already, he was on X Factor in the mid 2000s.
Was he on X Factor? I think he was in UFC.
No, is X Factor one where they would put like people in like coffins with like animals and shit?
The X Factor's a singing contest.
No.
Oh, you fucking
what's the TV show with when they would like put like scorpions in a box and put you in it? Do you remember?
I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
No. It was an American
That's what it's
show.
called in the UK.
What's it called?
The X Factor. You fucking idiot. Yeah, guys, Joe Rogan was on the X Factor. You heard it here first.
Season 4 winner. Okay, so it's not called the X Factor. It's called something else, and I could be right by it.
But that is going to be a great clip. Joe Rogan, the X Factor.
Clickbait.
With a microphone.
So, anyways, he had developed a following, and then he decided, my point being, that he decided to go into the podcast space.
Yeah.
And like he already carried weight. Whereas we have nothing, we've got this much of a following of anything. And that's probably not entirely true. We have friends and family and colleagues and stuff. Like that's more sympathy than legit. But it's kind of just a journey for us to figure out where this actually leads us. We have literally no clue. Whereas if you're Joe Rogan, you probably had a bit of an idea.
Well, if you look at a lot of these big podcasters like Joe Rogan, the guy Logan Paul, Impulsive, a lot of these podcasters have had personal brands or businesses or have been in the public eye, then started podcasts and their fans have watched their podcast.
We're doing it the other way around.
Yeah, if you want to put it that way.
That's how I think about it. So let's get into the episode.
I just
realized that. Yep, let's do that. All right, here we go. Well, we've already done that part.
No, not quite. Look at the last bit.
Oh, okay. Actually,
I'll let you take this.
Okay. I'm gonna look at the camera. Let them know.
This camera or this camera? Well, don't look at that one.
I'm just looking at myself real fast. I'll look at this one because you're in it as well. So what we've decided, November's coming up. And Andy and I, we're going to participate in Movember. We agreed to that about an hour ago. I
just don't know. Like, I'm not shaving this right off.
So that's kind of like the caveat for us. We'll participate, and we would love our audience to participate. So we're gonna keep a stubble, but we're gonna grow out.
We're not gonna shave the stash.
No.
I mean, if we start to look like pedophiles, we're sorry.
We should not say that word on our podcast. There's a baby oil joke in there. Oh, sorry. That's all getting out. That's all It'll be for the private eyes only. So Movember, we're participating. You guys should. Do you know what Movember is all about?
You're meant to raise money.
Okay.
We can maybe look into that.
So humanitarian of us. We can maybe look into that. We don't even know what it's about. Isn't it? I thought it was like ball cancer.
Oh, maybe.
I might be. Oh, a little voice crack. You get a little choked up there. Get a little excited. All right, we're moving on. This is
Yeah,
going
move on.
absolutely nowhere.
I'm-
All right.
Okay, so
Serious,
serious.
sort of.
Kind of. I mean, yeah,
Let's
we're
have a-
never
let's
too
have- yeah,
serious,
I
but
know,
yeah,
yeah.
serious. Yeah,
I need to
definitely.
move this so I can read it too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, crack on. So, in this segment, we are going to go over. I asked Callum for 3 thoughts, motivation, inspiration kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to give him the 3 that he's given me, and he's going to explain to me a bit about his thought process behind why he likes them and really why he picked them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So, the first one. Keep your face always towards the sunshine and the shadows will fall behind you.
Yes, that is a brilliant thought. I don't know why I'm laughing.
Yeah,
It's
come
so
on,
good.
it's not even funny.
I know, it's not even funny. That's,
Pull yourself together.
this is all about leaving, the haters, if you will. Leave them in the dust,
Leave them in the dust.
No, just
A little bit of motivation from Mr. Callum Byrne. Leave the haters in the dust.
fucking Michael Jordan. Okay, so let's get it back on
Holy
track.
shit.
Wow, this is a train wreck.
Yeah.
So,
Congratulations if you've made.
that's the
Congratulations.
fucking dumbest thing I've ever said. It's up there. That's on the top 10
I'm
list.
actually nearly crying.
It's so horrible. It's so horrible. You need to stop laughing.
Come on.
What I was trying to say was that
Oh man. Jesus.
oh, Christ.
Right, come
That's
on.
fucking
Pull
hilarious.
yourself together.
That is properly funny.
It's not even funny.
No, it's not funny. No one's going to understand why that's funny except for us.
Come on.
Hold on. I got this. Okay. Just needed a second. So, keep your face always towards the sunshine. I'm going to fucking piss myself.
I don't even know what.
Oh, man.
This
Okay.
is good. We're going to need to cut this out.
So my reasoning for that was mainly to just be positive and always move towards the sort of positive people in your life and the positive inspiration.
Tissue.
Go get a tissue. I don't think there are any.
Oh wow.
Wow. You done?
I'm done.
Okay, good.
Carry on.
Realizing that there are positive people and positive outcomes, leaving the past in the past. Oh man.
That's not even funny.
It's not even funny. That's 100% right. We should get fucking Kleenex to sponsor our next episode. Well, while Andy's gone, I'll tell the camera and the audience it's all about being positive, moving forward with your life, inspiration. There are a lot of people that will tell you that you can't do something and you're not capable of doing something, when in fact you are. You definitely are, and that kind of just resonated with me a little bit about that. I mean, we don't need to talk about this anymore.
Yes. Can we move on?
Next thing. Are you going to read that?
I don't know if I can. Okay, next one.
Yep.
For you.
Yep.
Time is more time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that one as well. And for me, that's all about those precious moments in life, that you'll never get back. It's all about the memories. All about the memories. And You need to get it together.
I don't know why I can't stop laughing.
I don't fucking know what's wrong with you. Okay. Well, Andy's having a fucking fit. My hair's all fucked up now, by the way. Whatever.
Right, sorry.
So
I've actually been crying this whole episode.
pretty much. That's fine. It's pretty funny. I'm
Right,
still
I'm all
waiting
good
to
now.
find out what's
So,
funny.
Anyway, time is more valuable than money.
Yeah.
You can get more money, but you cannot get more time.
Yeah.
It does what it says on the tin, really. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's something that you could put, you could like print that out, throw it on a wall, read it every day,
yeah.
and realize that, money is great, but money comes and goes. It's never there. Whereas, let's take this podcast, for example, right? Like, we're having a laugh, we're having a good time.
Yeah.
Like, these are memories
yeah.
that we're, right? These are memories. And the business that we're starting and all this stuff that we do, they're memories. Those are constant. You know, those are things that we can always tap back into when we're 15 years down the line.
Yeah. No, but I think that it comes back to, like, we've talked about it before. Like the quote that Alex Hormozy said, when I was in my 20s, I wanted to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
When I was a millionaire, I wanted to be in my 20s.
100%.
It's like people who are, even if you talk about billionaires who are in their like 50s, 60s, 70s, they would give all their money away. I think if I was that age and I was a billionaire, I would give all my money away.
Yeah.
To be 20, I'm 27.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like what happens
27
to,
again.
what happens to a Premier League superstar who's 17 years old who's getting 150 grand a week.
Yeah.
To them, they're the top of the world. They're, and they're doing great. But the reality is, what do you do with it? You don't know what you're doing with it when you're that young.
The thing is, with these footballers especially, like, they get so much money, right? I mean,
Way
some
too
of these,
much,
some of these
yeah.
footballers or soccer players
Thank you.
are on 400,
big money.
450 grand a week.
Yeah.
Now, they earn loads of money for a start.
Yeah.
A lot in the Premier League anyway, 50% of it, 48% of it will be taxed.
Yeah.
So that's halved.
Yeah.
Also, your schedule, you can't do anything during the season.
There's no life.
You can't do anything during the season. Your location freedom is zilch.
Yeah.
Zilch.
Yeah.
Your life throughout your football career is determined by where you're playing.
Yeah.
If you look at like the David Beckham documentary, kind of opened my eyes to it.
It was amazing, isn't it?
He literally moved
He was
away.
my
And his
favorite player ever.
was he
Yeah. He was like my
more than
inspiration.
Ronaldo?
Yeah. Because
Really?
Beckham was first and then Ronaldo came after.
Mm-hmm.
But Beckham was like my guy.
Yeah. Right, move on because I'm going to start laughing again.
Okay. Next one. Last one for me. And then
Last one for
we'll do
Callum.
you.
Never underestimate the big importance of small things. I love this.
Yeah. I think this one ties a lot into the previous one as well.
Yeah.
And it was nice to have a balance between the two. Ties into the Alex Hormozy comments.
Yeah.
All the and right, we've said this a million times. People have always been saying this. The little things add up.
100%. Yeah.
And that goes for business, friendships, relationships, business, obviously.
So if I was talking to somebody yesterday about this. I think it was maybe your dad.
Okay.
Was it I can't remember, but
Yeah.
it was have you ever read the story about the British cycling team?
No.
So I'm sure it was in the 80s at some stage. The Olympic British cycling team, they weren't great. And so it's in the book Atomic Habits, actually. It's at the start. They talk about it. They talk about the 1%, the small 1%. They did everything. They changed all the small things. So they changed the pillows that they used to go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
They changed the seats on the bike. They changed the tires on the bike. Rather than trying to make huge differences all the time, they just made small 1% differences. And all these little 1% differences added up, and they ended up being the best in the world. They cleaned up at the next Olympics.
Yeah.
And it was all due to the small things. They took care of the small things. They never tried to change anything huge or drastic. It was all the small things that they'd taken care of.
What do you think would be a good sort of 1% small step to take if you're just starting out business?
Great question.
Thank you.
I would say, I don't know if it's a small thing, but
Okay.
it's certainly, people don't do it enough, and it's invest in yourself.
Sure.
So many people
It's a good answer, to be fair.
just want to start. It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, no, it doesn't need to be a big investment. It doesn't even need to be monetary. It doesn't need, you don't. It doesn't need to cost you anything.
Physical, mental.
Yeah,
stuff
invest
like
in
that.
yourself. Books are fantastic. I never started reading until probably about a year ago.
It's funny because I'm thinking that you literally just started. Sorry.
No, I can read, but I only just started like taking, like reading books,
Yeah.
like serious over the last year, and it has done so.
Okay.
It's done so much for like my development, my self-development. You're a prick.
It just doesn't read right. That's all.
No, but so that's one thing. That
Right.
That's a 1%. You know, pick up a book.
Yeah.
Read 10 pages a day.
My turn. Oh man.
What?
I just keep thinking.
Fuck
I'm
you.
reading for the first time. Oh my god. Ah, this is a nightmare. Okay.
I don't know why I'm laughing so much.
I don't either. I really have no idea.
Right.
All right, here are 3 thoughts from Andy. And I think that these are fantastic, by the way.
Thank you.
So your first one is, the biggest problem is we do not listen to understand. We listen to reply.
Yeah. I think this can be tied into a couple of different things. Just in general conversation.
Yeah.
Certainly people...
I have no idea. I'm so sorry. I have no idea. I'm gonna get some water. I should not have had a beer before we got here.
No, you shouldn't have.
God, everything's hilarious to me.
I think that...
Just keep talking. Who cares?
I think it can be tied into life in general. I think that people would have better conversations if they actually listened to understand rather than just thinking about what they can reply. And to be fair, it's a lot of people get nervous when they're speaking to people. So
Yeah.
after they know what they want to say, they stop listening to what the other person's saying. And they start focusing on the reply.
Yeah. Do you see that a lot in agents?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because if you think about a sales process, if the real estate agent actually listens to understand,
Yep.
if they listen to understand what the client needs and wants, rather than just trying to spout out all of the sales rubbish.
Yeah.
Then they would actually get a lot more business because you would have a lot more meaningful conversations about your client's needs and wants and needs, rather than just asking a question just for the sake of setting up a sales proposal kind of thing. So I think that's quite. But I mean for that in everyday general life. I don't know why I'm laughing so much. This episode's rude.
Andy, thanks for that. Your second thought, very interesting. And I think this ties into some of the things I've said as well.
Okay.
Everyone is jealous of what you got. No one is jealous of how you got it.
Yeah.
Powerful.
I
Tell me
really
more.
like this because it's almost like everyone's jealous of the view.
Mhm.
Everyone wants the view, but no one wants to climb.
Yeah.
And it's so true. Is that people always say, "Oh, that must be great. That must be great. This must be great.
Yeah.
That car that you drive must be amazing." No, not to me, but I just mean in general. Like that multi-million-pound mansion that you live in must be great.
Yeah.
Okay, but what struggles have they gone through in order to get that? Or what hardships have they come across? What has it cost them in terms of relationships? Relationships with their family, with their kids. A lot of these super successful, wealthy people have got really bad relationships with their kids.
Look at Tom Brady.
Comes at a cost, right? All this comes at a cost. So many people idolize being up at the top, but realistically, nobody actually wants to put in the work in order to go through it to get there. And sometimes, is it really worth it? Is it worth it?
Yeah. Tom Brady was a bad example. He was married to Giselle for like 20 years.
Yeah.
She did leave him, to be fair. But, I mean, maybe look at like a...
Tiger Woods.
I was about to say. Yeah. I was going to say
Prime
Tiger
example.
Woods, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Mm-hmm. All these people.
Messi.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, yeah, they're family men, right? Or supposedly, maybe not for Tiger, but like for the other two, they're family men. They enjoy that, but they definitely emphasize and put sport first.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they would never have been able to do what they've done.
Yeah, definitely. And it's the same if you relate it to business as well. Like
exactly.
These Elon Musk, how much time is he spending with his kids?
How many kids do you think he's has?
He's got 11 kids.
Is that factual?
That's a fact. He's got 11 kids.
That's horrifying.
Talking on Elon Musk, do you know that there was a day last week that Tesla stock jumped up 22% and he made $27 billion in one day? One day.
That is incredible. I did see something. Actually, I think you maybe sent something on Instagram to me about that.
Yeah.
It's actually hard to comprehend just how much money that is in one. That must be the most money in one day that someone's made.
Well, to think about it this way. If you were to put him on Forbes' rich list, he would be within the top 20 from that singular day.
Oh my God.
That's unbelievable. The Illuminati. No, but that is crazy. 27 million in a day. We're talking on money. You see what Russia...
Is the Illuminati sign, right?
You see what Russia... Some Russian government
company that's suing Google.
Yeah,
for like 2.5 quadrillion or whatever the fuck it is. 2.5 million
Betrillion
times
Betrillion. Is it Betrillion
to the 10 power?
I mean, it's nuts. It said that there's not even that amount of money on the planet.
Yeah,
and that's what they're anyway.
I wonder what that's all about. By the way, you know, I haven't read the case or anything, but it would be interesting to like try to understand. Why? Because what I read was that it was about a few different like YouTube channels that were anti-Russian.
All right, okay.
And so they thought that it would make sense to sue YouTube and Google, owned by the same. But so, by the way, did you know that I think they paid like 10 billion? This is probably way wrong. I think they paid either 10 billion or 1 billion for YouTube. Google did. Their first year, they made 50 billion.
Yeah, I don't know the exact figures, but I did see.
I know the 50 billion's right. The first number, not sure.
Shot in the dark.
Yeah, I'm just stabbing right now. I hope I'm right.
Anyways,
what would you do if you knew you could not fail? Wow.
Well, this is like a great.
That's like a morning inspiration.
This is a great thought for anyone who isn't sure if they're in the right industry, if they're working in the right industry, if they're hanging around with the right people. Ask yourself, what would I do if I knew I could never fail?
How often do you ask yourself that question?
All the time.
Nice.
Oh, since I've seen it. I mean, I saw that about 2 years ago, and I asked myself it probably weekly.
Yeah. Do you write your answer down?
No, I don't write it down. No, I just think about it.
You know, sort of commentary in the
mind.
I
think about it when I'm on the toilet.
One of your other personalities.
Yeah. No, but I do. I think about it a lot.
Yeah.
It pops up. Like on my TikTok or on my Instagram, it'll pop up all the time, and that's when I sit and think about it. Like, you know, but if you feel a bit lost, ask yourself that question. Like,
I should start doing that.
What would you do if you knew you could never fail? Would you still have the same job? Would you be hanging around with the same people? Would you be playing the same sports? Would you be working at the same company, working in the same industry? Would your income be the same?
I've got a personal question for you. Because of this quote.
Yeah.
And because of, you know, how you've thought about it, how many people do you think you've cut out of your life? Roughly.
I don't know if I've necessarily cut people out fully.
Okay.
But without a shadow of a doubt, I don't speak to anywhere near the amount of people that I should. I've probably got 5 people.
4 outside this room is what you're saying.
Like close friends.
Okay, yeah.
That I speak to a lot. Apart and that's probably it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, okay, I've got a lot of friends.
Sure.
But actually that I interact with, talk to on a weekly basis, 5 people.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty much this. I'm probably the same. Maybe even, I might say 3 super solid, 4. And then there's a couple that I entertain.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, well, listen, at the end of the day, like, I read this quote once, and you've definitely heard it, but you are a mix of the 5 people that you spend the most time with.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's time as in-person time.
Yeah.
It could be, really, the quote is you're influenced by the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So that could be on social media. You know, it could be, who are you looking at on social media? Who's popping up on your page the most?
Yeah.
Who are you spending the most time with? Who, you know, if you hang about with 5 smokers, 4 smokers, the chances are you're going to be the 5th.
Yep.
If you hang about with 5 drinkers, you're going to be the 6th.
Yeah.
If you hang about with 5 people that are interested in business, guess what? You're going to be fucking interested in business too.
You're going to get a little bit more productive, possibly.
If you hang around with 5 successful people, the chances are you're going to be successful too.
You want to be the dumbest person in the smartest group of people.
Yeah.
So that you can learn from them. You never want to be the smartest person in the dumbest room.
Never.
Otherwise, you're going to have a fucking
What am I doing here, actually? Right enough out, because I'm the smartest person in the room, right?
Okay, it's by 2 points. So
I think it was actually only 1. What was it, 2?
It was 1 or 2. All right, well, let's move on to the deep questions. I love that answer, though. That's great.
But it's so true, right?
I never know which way to cross my legs. Oh, that hurts. I'm going to keep it like this. Deep questions.
Deep questions. So
we've handled so far our seriousness.
Yeah, I mean, it's went from here to
so
here.
Let's get serious.
Yeah,
because this is. I want to know this for myself. You know, I'm sure the audience would love to hear what you think about on a weekly basis and daily basis about life and everything. So
yeah, I think that this
will be insightful.
I think this segment, this deep questions segment, is good because I don't talk about my feelings a lot. I don't talk about my thought process a lot.
Yeah. Is that intentional? Or is it just
I don't know if it's intentional. I just don't know who I would talk to it about.
Yeah.
I mean, I would never be asked any of these questions. Nobody would ever ask me these questions
No.
in normal life scenario.
No. These are questions that you get, down the road, when you're building friendships and relationships, that sort of thing.
Of course. So I think that these deep questions are good because it lets the audience know more about us. Yeah. Unintentionally, almost.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to ask you the first question. I know you love talking. So, Andy, if you had the chance to call your 16-year-old self and speak for 1 minute, what would you say?
Buy Bitcoin.
What great advice.
No, in all seriousness, I would just say enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Enjoy the moment because you're going to experience some pretty cool things over the next 10 years. Fucking hell. Oh my God, I was 16, 11 years ago.
Yeah.
That's wild. So anyway, I would say enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
You're going to be put in some pretty cool places. You're going to do some pretty cool things. And one thing that I didn't do was enjoy the moment enough. I did some pretty nice things and I've done some pretty nice things and you never really soak it in. You never soak anything in. Yeah. I feel like when you have goals and targets that you want to hit, you're so focused on getting to the next milestone. For a while for me, it was monetary, as in I wanted to hit X amount a year in terms of in my estate agency career. You want to get to X amount gross revenue. Then it was all about the number of sales I was going to hit. So I want to get to 50 sales a year or 60 sales a year or 80 sales a year. Then after that, you want to climb up the leaderboard. So from in the Europe top 100, you start off at 80, then 60, then 40, then, it became chasing targets and goals.
It's almost like a game.
Yeah. And I never actually just sat and thought, shit, this is pretty cool what I'm actually doing, and enjoyed it a bit more. So I would probably say just enjoy the process, soak it in, and it'll all work out. Like if you put the work in, it will all work out. Take care of the work, and the work will take care of you.
Yep. Well said.
So yeah, that's what I would say. Just enjoy the moment, soak it in.
Nice. Thank you for sharing.
Callum,
okay.
if you had the chance to call and talk to your 16-year-old self, what would you say?
I would definitely start off by saying something very similar. Tesla, Dogecoin, Bitcoin, maybe some Amazon. That is a fact, because that would not go unmissed upon me.
Of course.
It's all about making money. I would tell myself, stop playing golf. Don't go to college. Focus on networking.
Yeah.
Find a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
It could be,
Your answer's already way better than mine. Yeah, listen to Callum, everyone.
This is the wisdom podcast.
Don't enjoy the process. Listen to Callum.
Fuck the process. There is no such thing as process. I'm just kidding. Your answer is very good, and there's no right answer here.
Of course.
But I do think that if you were to maybe do some, I already forgot what I said. So like
mentor.
Mentor's a big one.
Mentor is huge.
You're 16. You just came out of like your first stint of puberty or whatever the fuck. I mean, you have no idea what's going on to your body, to yourself, your mind. We talked about this earlier. The male brain isn't fully developed until 25.
Yeah.
So you're 9 years away from that. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
So, you and I, we just got to, which is terrifying as well. We're supposed to be fully developed. I'm still waiting.
Yeah. Speak for yourself.
So, yeah. I think that if you could just find someone to help guide you. And I don't know if you've had this experience, but I've always had someone kind of just like pop in and out of your life. There's always someone that just sort of is there for like 3 or 4 months. And I had a guy, his name was Way Ishmael. Sounds like a fucking movie character.
So you're making this up.
It does, right? But I was just playing golf, and he was like this sort of like spiritual guy, and he had such a way and way had a way. He had this natural charisma, and it was infectious. And he would just kind of talk. It was all very subtle. He would talk about some philosophers, but he wouldn't like shove it down your throat. He would just sort of just mention that, like, oh, by the way, have you ever seen this video about Muhammad Ali? And it's a video, very famous video of Muhammad Ali talking about. He gets like a question from a kid, and the question was like, what are you gonna do after boxing, or whatever. And we should actually watch that video one day because it's so inspiring. And Muhammad Ali was a very smart, intellectual human.
Yeah.
So when you get exposed to stuff like that, but no one's telling you that in school.
No.
Your friends aren't saying, hey, have you seen that Muhammad Ali video? They don't even know who the fuck that is.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, who's that?
See, to be honest, one thing that, and I was, I suppose, lucky that my family were in that industry, so I did it anyway. But one piece of advice I would give to a 16-year-old if they don't know what they want to do is go and get a job in hospitality.
No, jump straight in.
Because working in hospitality, whether it be, well, if you're 16, not behind a bar, but whether it be, in a restaurant,
possibly
in a restaurant, taking orders at tables and things like that, because that brings out confidence in you that you can't learn that. You have to go through that experience.
Yeah, because it's going to be super awkward.
Of course, when you first get asked to go and take an order for a table and there's 20 people there, you're like, shit.
Yeah.
But
like, what do I do?
After you've done it for 2 months, it's like, oh, no problem. You go up and you stand in front of a table of 20 and take their order.
It's a learned skill.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
It's a practiced, learned skill.
Yeah, and I think that it teaches you so much about life and business. So,
yeah.
Without a doubt, if you're 16, you don't know what you want to do, go and get a part-time job in hospitality. Teaches you how to speak to people, how to handle different situations. Yeah, definitely. I think it's a strong piece of advice.
Thank you. What's one thing you wish people understood more about you?
One thing I wish people understood more about me.
Really getting into the psyche.
So you kind of touched on it earlier. How many people have you cut off?
Oh.
In order to... I don't want to say get to where you are, because I don't feel like I'm anywhere near where I want to be.
Maybe you might feel like it improved you, or
but
something.
yeah, so I'm selfish in the fact that
I'm sweating.
I'm nice.
Sorry.
I'm selfish in the fact that I know what I want to do with my life. I've got targets that I want to hit.
Yeah.
And if that means not speaking to a couple of people along the way, then that's just what that means.
Yeah.
So one thing I wish people understood more is that I've got things that I want to do, and I will be selfish, but actually I'm not doing it out of spite. I'm not doing it because I don't like you. It's just, if you're not going to move my life forward in any way.
I do like being spiteful myself. There's no better feeling.
No, and that doesn't mean to say that you can't be kind. Like,
sure.
Like, I'm to people who
100%.
are in my circle, I'm very generous to.
Yeah.
And if I trust you and like you, then
Yeah, I mean, you bought me lunch. Fucking hell.
But yeah, it's just that I can be selfish.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think when you step into the world of business, you if you want to do anything, you kind of have to be a little bit. You have to have that sort of not in the back of your mind, but you have to have that sort of instinct of, is this going to serve me well?
Yeah, well, it's dog eat dog. Like, especially in the industry that I worked in before. Like,
remember what I said?
Yeah, you said you kill what you eat. Bud, you eat what you kill. Nope. But it's so true. Yeah. In self-employed estate agency, you eat what you kill. If I'm coming up against you for a listing, guess what? I'm going to do all that I can to get the business over you, because then it means I get paid.
And it's not personal. It's strictly just
100%.
That.
Yeah,
it's strictly just that.
And yeah, definitely.
I like that. I like that.
Cool. So, Callum, what's one thing you wish people understood more about yourself?
Yeah, I'm a very complicated human, like most people. The one thing I would like, I don't stray too far away from what you say.
Yeah.
I think for me that I get kind of trapped up in the fact that life is very challenging, and life throws things into your existence that you maybe didn't think you were prepared to handle at all.
Yeah.
And it's tough.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, sometimes you just want to tell people, like, give me a fucking break.
Yeah.
You know? Like, that would be, like, that's such a powerful statement.
Yeah.
And it's pretty, like, in your face. But, like, yeah, sometimes I do want people to just be like, look, like, lay off. Like, I'm a person. We're both people here. I'm trying my best to do what I said I was going to do.
Yeah.
And this is a business, a personal, a friendship,
general.
Whatever. Like, this is a general statement. I wish I could pull that, like, out of the hat and say, here you go.
Yeah.
Fucking leave me alone.
Yeah.
Because I think, like you, in some regards, I'm a very selfless person, and I'm selfish at times, and I do want to accomplish certain things in my life because, you know, there are things that I have to do, that I think I have to do.
Yeah.
It's a personal thing.
Yeah.
But my selflessness becomes almost like a cancer of myself.
Yeah. What I get you 100%.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You start overextending yourself, overreaching. And you're like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
And then that's when I cancel people out. I'm like, you're gone.
Yeah. So it's so strange that you say that, because it's one thing that I'm bad for as well. It's
I'm
like
shocking.
I could get really, really close with someone, something, and then all of a sudden,
yeah,
see you later.
That's like,
and it's because I don't have the heart to let somebody down.
That's
at
the worst feeling in the world.
I don't have the heart to let somebody down at the start.
No, can't do it.
It's all of a sudden shit, panic mode. See ya.
So,
yeah.
I guess sometimes I just want, like, just give me a break.
Yeah.
Don't even know if that actually makes any sense. But
no,
that's just like
100%.
You know, but I feel like that's just the older you get. I don't know. Fuck.
No, I agree. I 100% I agree. Let's forget about this one. Just go on to this one.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's fine. Do you have an answer?
No, I never thought about it.
Then we should do the third one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then, what's something you're really passionate about, but you don't tell anyone about?
Do you want me to say the answer that you said earlier?
Yes. No, I'll still answer that way.
One thing I'm really passionate about, but don't tell anyone about.
Yeah.
Probably, I don't know. Can you go first?
Yeah.
What's one thing you're passionate about, but don't tell anyone about?
I think, well, we did speak about this before. I'm not talking about that answer. What I am referring to is the previous time that we've talked about this point before.
Yeah. On the episode that got
deleted.
Yeah.
And I said humanity.
Yeah.
Or people.
Yeah.
Despite my selfish and selflessness, I also care about people in general and how people interact with one another. And would I say I'm passionate about it? Yeah, because, we're the only thing that lives on this earth that thinks and talks, and, you could argue that, but let's be honest, that's it.
Yeah.
And I just worry about how we engage with one another generally. It's pretty toxic. And it seems like, especially in America, right? This is coming from the American here, with the most divisive political world landscape that you could ask for. And yeah, it does concern me. And, maybe we'll talk about, what's going on over there. But it definitely worries me. So I'd say I'm passionate about it.
Yeah. I think what you just kind of touched on there, human behavior.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'm passionate about it, but I'm certainly very interested in it.
Yeah.
Why people do what they do,
Yep.
why people make the decisions that they make.
Like human psychology
Human
almost?
psychology,
Yeah.
the thought process behind it. I think actually what I said the last time you asked me this question was learning.
Yeah.
And again, it kind of relays into that.
Same thing, really.
You're learning about human behavior.
Yeah.
I'm a geek when it comes to figuring out the process behind something. So you make a decision. What's led you to make that decision? What factors have been taken into account, or what factors are involved that's led you to making that decision? And if you look at 100 people, the chances are for a lot of people, there's going to be probably 3 or 4 different groups. It's like the personality types.
Exactly.
These personality types, the thought process between a driver and analytical are going to be different. But if you look at 4 drivers, the chances are the thought process is going to be fairly similar. So I would probably say that.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you say it, because I don't know if this is an accurate representation of reality, but one thing my dad has always taught me was that buying a home is 85% emotional, and the rest is evidence to back up the sort of logical reasonings.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting that you've landed yourself in real estate, and you could argue that the vast majority of why people purchase homes is because of
it is human
psychology.
Of course.
Why are you doing it?
Yeah.
Right. It's not about numbers and figures. They like to talk about that because it's easy, but that's why.
That's where they'll justify their emotion. So it's an emotional purchase, but then it's justified by facts and figures and data.
Yeah, I mean, like when Jeff Bezos goes to Miami and buys a $50 million home, there's no logical justification of buying a $50 million home.
No. And by the way, it's his 10th home.
I mean, it's not like that was his primary, So it's like, well, why would you do that? Well, maybe there's tax implications. Maybe it's because his, girlfriend or whatever. I don't even know. He's not married.
He's not married anymore. You know that his wife. This is mad.
What?
So his wife is in the top 50 richest people in the world purely because she was married to him. When they divorced, she got half of his money.
Do you believe?
Yes.
Okay.
In prenups. Was that the question you were going to ask?
I'm not saying it. I'm just asking.
I do believe in.
I think they make sense.
I believe in a prenup, and when the time comes for myself to get married, I think that I will get a prenup.
Now, do you think that they're going to agree to that?
Why wouldn't they?
Because I think some people won't like that.
I think a lot of people won't like that.
They'll think that it's like distrust.
But
like, oh, you don't trust me? Well, no. Like, if I'm making a lot of money, it's not your money. Just because we're married doesn't mean you're entitled to my money. You're entitled to my love and affection and commitment and all that. That's 100%. Nothing to do with the money.
I would always make sure that they were taken care of. Because they always say,
it's never about the money.
It's always about the money.
Come on, man.
It's always about the money.
It's always about the money.
I would always make sure that they were taken care of.
Of course. But you can include that in a prenup.
Yeah, but you can include whatever you want in a prenup.
Exactly, yeah.
A lot of people think a prenup is... That means they're not getting anything. Yeah. That's not the case. No. A prenup, you can put what you want in a prenup. Yeah. Without a doubt, I'll have a prenup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've definitely considered that.
I just think that you work so hard, or
well, imagine if you only had one house, and it goes to court. I mean, she could take the home. Mm-hmm. I've heard of that, and I've also seen that.
Yeah.
In divorces without prenups.
Yeah.
And the husband's fucking down the road.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Well, good luck to him, you know?
Yeah, I just think that...
That's not fair, is it? I don't know.
I just think you need to have...
The viewers, please let us know if you like prenups.
I think this is... I could talk about this for... I mean, there's pros and cons to both, certainly.
I agree.
But, yeah.
We can have a discussion about that another time. Maybe next week.
Yeah.
That might be interesting. Mm-hmm. Talk about...
Yeah,
I don't know.
I suppose it depends. You have to meet the right person before you decide if you want a prenup or not.
Well, that's also very true.
Like just now, I'm saying, I want a prenup, probably because I've never met the right person.
Yeah,
so I'd be very protective on what I've built and what I've got. Whereas if you meet the right person, then maybe my thought process behind that will change.
Maybe Mrs. Henderson will be making more money than you.
Hopefully, then we're definitely not getting a prenup. But no, I mean, if my wife was making more money than I was, I would be happy to sign a prenup.
Yeah. Could you be a stay-at-home dad? Do you think you could see yourself as such?
I don't know.
You know, because I know that's like a thing now.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Right? And so, I could never do it. I would lose my mind.
I wouldn't... Depends what you like. If I had to stay at home and actually do
wearing the maid outfit, doing the dishes.
I'd love it. No, I need to be busy. Like your dad always says to me, people need 3 things in life.
Yeah.
Something to work towards, i.e. a goal.
Yep.
Someone to love.
Yeah.
And what's the third one?
I think it was a reason to get out of bed.
A reason to get out of bed. That's the goal.
That's the goal. Something to work towards would be the second one.
Yeah.
So getting out of bed, accomplishing the task, someone to love. Yeah, you could probably throw in, to be fair, you could really throw in whatever you want in those 3 things, but it has to be down to what your core values are. Because someone might say, well, I don't have anyone to love.
Yeah.
Okay, well, find something else to replace it with. So if we're going to go down that route, I don't know, maybe we're getting off task here. But I like what he says.
Yeah, he says something.
It's like, but also, to be fair, I think he changes it all the time. Because I've never heard the someone to love thing.
Oh, well, that's what he said to me.
That's what really threw me off. I was like, okay, yeah, no. The first part, yeah, and then, nope. I'm like, what?
What time? We are actually nearly in an hour.
We've got 9 minutes, actually.
How do you know?
Well, if we start at 5:15.
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah. We've got.
Okay. 10 minutes.
Yeah. So
overrated, underrated. I think this is a great segment. I think this is going to be engaging.
Yeah.
You like my enthusiasm right now?
I love
it. And I really want to go through this with you. So I'm going to ask you first.
Okay. Okay.
So you can give 3 responses, and also any engagement from the audience. I never know where to look. But let us know what your thoughts are on what we're talking about right now. That would be cool. Alcohol.
I think it's overrated. We can talk about this after.
Yeah. Video games.
Superior, way overrated.
Soup.
Overrated. I'm not a soup guy.
Kanye West.
I think he's probably rated about. I think he's misunderstood.
Nice. Fried eggs.
I think they're overrated.
Weird. Luxury cars.
I think they're rated right. And we can get into that.
Yeah. Donald Trump.
I think he's underrated, you know that?
Really?
I do.
That's coming from a Scot.
I like Donald Trump.
Okay. Nightclubs.
Overrated. So Agreed. Overrated.
Conor McGregor.
used to be severely underrated. Now he's severely overrated.
Sauna.
Underrated.
Apple Maps.
Apple Maps is underrated if you're Callum Brown anyway.
That's true.
So I'd like to hear from the audience here, actually. This guy next to me uses Google Maps on his phone instead of Apple Maps.
Apple Maps is shit.
Apple Maps is so much easier to use on your phone.
So when I Googled, why is Google Maps better than Apple Maps? It said because it defines the hazards in the roads better and for traffic. It gives you better, more accurate information.
Okay, but you're not going to change my mind on this
I know
one.
that.
I'd like to hear from the audience.
Well,
I'd like to. We're going to actually put a poll in this reel.
That's a good idea.
We're going to put a poll in this reel. Do you prefer Apple Maps or Google Maps on an iPhone? When you're on your phone, specifically when you're on your phone, are you Google Maps or are you Apple Maps?
Yeah.
Vote below.
Last one's pizza.
I think pizza's perfectly rated.
Yeah. I'd agree.
Yeah. Which ones are we going to talk about a bit more?
I think we should talk about. I'd love to get your take on Donald Trump. That's a very interesting one coming from.
So
That's
my
not what I expected.
My thought process behind Donald Trump is, I think it makes sense to have a businessman running a country.
Yeah.
Because I think a country should be run like a business.
Yeah.
If you look at all these countries, they're in trillions and trillions of debt. That shouldn't be the case.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump wants to try and change that. Some of the policies that he's bringing in, like, he's big on cutting tax.
Yeah.
I mean, most other politicians, and they want to raise the taxes. He's talking about lowering the taxes, and the way that he's able to lower the taxes is by putting tariffs on things coming into the country. I think that it's
an emphasis on
super smart.
Local production.
Yeah. Well, it generates more business in the country.
Yeah.
Then it doesn't push all the high earners out the country because of tax. It's not only that, I like his whole personality.
Because I will say that he's a polarizing figure at large.
Yeah, definitely.
You either like him or you don't. There's really, I feel like there are very few people in the middle.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I think that he speaks his mind a bit too much. I think that's the only problem. As in, a lot of the stuff he says is pretty ridiculous. But he just he's not got a filter, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, I think that a lot of these politicians you can't trust because they're just hiding behind a persona.
Of course.
He isn't. No. He isn't. It's just a fact.
No, he is who he is. And you either are going to like him or you're not. Yeah. You're going to agree with what he says or you're not. And, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in, I think, 6 days.
Yes.
So we will keep our fingers crossed. Fuck. Okay, yeah. No, I'm the American, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut for our American viewers and my friends. So when they hear my thoughts, they're like, fuck this guy. I'm not saying I don't like Kamala. I think she's wonderful.
Mm-hmm. I don't really know enough about her, to be honest with you.
She's terrible. No, I mean, I think that she's got some things about her that are interesting.
Yeah.
Do I agree with? It's not necessarily the character or the individual. It's more about the background noise that's happening that I like to focus on. The individuals are one thing, and more about their policies and what they're going to try to do to benefit me. Yeah. Because they're elected, and I want them to be president to benefit myself.
Of course.
Right? So I'm voting for someone who I think will give me a better chance. And, I mean, she's been very vocal about the real estate thing. She wants to give $25,000 as a first home buyer. She wants to build 3 million units for homes. Sort of like government housing, social housing, whatever. None of those things benefit us. Where's the $25,000 per person coming from? Or for first-time homeowners?
It's coming from taxpayers.
Unless she finds it from somewhere else. But, I mean, I never agreed to do that.
No, exactly. But she's
that's the thing. I think that's one of the things I fucking cannot stand about governments at large is they will do things because they're put in power. Then they just say, hey, you know what? We're going to do this, and we're going to spend money on that. It was like, well, you never fucking asked me, right? My debt as a human in America has gone up by like $20,000 in the last 10 years. Well, how am I supposed to pay that off? What the fuck? I mean, didn't we talk about this as well? The American dream. It costs like $850,000 now.
Yeah. When did we talk about that?
Wait, maybe we didn't.
No, we did.
Did we?
We did. Yeah, we did.
But like, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And next thing, luxury cars.
So we touched on this like when we were having something to eat earlier. Like,
yeah.
In a way, I think luxury
like
cars.
The stigma of a luxury car.
Of a luxury car. I think luxury cars are overvalued in the grand scheme of things. However, there is a few benefits to having a luxury car.
Yeah.
Now, if you can't afford one, definitely don't get one for a start.
Great advice.
Definitely don't get one. But I think so many people want to look rich rather than actually be rich. I think that's what the big issue is.
Yeah.
But a luxury car, in some sense, like, for example, if you want to try and appeal to a target market, i.e. a high net worth clientele, you need to be in the same kind of circles, doing the same things as them.
Yeah.
If I am going to value a house and try and get somebody's business on a house that's £1 million, if I turn up in an old 2009 Volkswagen Polo, it doesn't look great.
Yeah.
It just doesn't, and that's just a fact. So I think that in a way, luxury cars are good because it gives you this image of luxury, of money. And if I'm trying to get somebody's business that's got a lot of money, they're going to want to think that I have a lot of money as well. It's quite sad actually, but that's the reality of the situation. Yeah. So I think in a way, luxury cars, I don't agree with in a lot of ways, but in some ways, if there's purpose behind the purchase, without a doubt, I do. Yeah, definitely.
I think we're pretty much on the same page with that. Luxury cars are great. I mean, who doesn't want to have a nice car? Right? That was like the first thing, especially for me. Like when I was growing up, a family friend of ours, we were in Italy at the time, and he had a Lamborghini. Oh, and he had a shed. He had built a shed just for his Lamborghini. Yeah. And I remember when he turned the car on, and I started crying. I was like 6 years old. It was so fucking 16. Loud. Sorry, 16. And I started fucking crying because I was so terrified of the noise. But then I was just infatuated with the idea of owning a Lamborghini. Yeah. With the signature yellow.
And it's got to be yellow.
It has to be fucking yellow. I hate the people. There's a fucking prick in this town, and he has a fucking lime green.
Oh no, not
and I'm like, I want to know who he is. Yeah. So if I fucking ever find you, you're fucking toast, buddy.
But yeah, I think we agree on that.
Yeah. Okay. I hope he's not your friend.
Don't know.
Good. So I want to quickly talk about things to discuss before we end our episode. Yeah. And this is something that we've been talking about a lot more, especially that, we've started the podcast. We're always kind of sending each other, hey, let's talk about this for the next episode. Look at this video, all that stuff. And one of the things that popped up was a video from Gary Vee.
Yes.
And it was about children and competitiveness.
Yes.
And how that's getting taken out. And tell me what your thoughts are. And I know we'll share the video with you guys or a link or something so you guys can watch it. But tell me what your thoughts are.
I think in the video, Gary Vee is essentially saying that competitiveness is being pulled out of young kids. Yeah. For example, if a young 5-year-old child is crying after they've just been beat at a game of football, they're told to stop crying because they took part. Yeah. It's only a game. Yeah. Really, it's not only a game. This child clearly cares about the game. They're competitive, obviously, otherwise they wouldn't be crying because they lost. I think that is a good thing that they're crying because they lost. At the end of the day, that person could grow up to be the next Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah. Really. The chances are slim, but...
Yeah, but it's all about work and ethic and competitiveness.
100%. And if kids nowadays especially are told it's taking part that counts and all this kind of thing, I don't agree with it at all. No. We are pushing a narrative of you don't need to work hard to society. and to kids and to the younger generation.
Pretty detrimental.
100%. So I think that kids need to learn that you need to work hard in order to make things happen. Competitiveness does count in life, in business, and sport. You need to have a competitive edge. And if things keep going the way they're going with young kids in school and everyone gets a medal for taking part and you shouldn't be crying because you got beat, I just think that sucks the competitiveness out of it. And I never even really thought about it too much until I saw the video. But I think that it's a great point.
There's another video that I saw recently, and it was a motivation. He's a motivational speaker, and he was talking about a time when he was playing, what was it? I think it was just like, it was dominoes or checkers with his son. And the dad kept beating him every time. Fucking win.
Cheers, Dad.
Destroying this kid's confidence one game at a time. And but what happened was, and he's like, look, I'm tired, son. Like, I need to go. I'm going to bed. And the son was like, I'm not stopping until I win. And he was like, oh, fuck. Like,
he's created an animal, you know.
Obviously. But like, I don't know about you, but I remember there was one time when I first started learning how to play chess, and I played my cousin Robert, and I played him. It was either my cousin or my dad. I don't fucking remember. I was young, and I think they let me win. And I started crying because I knew that they let me win. And I was pissed off. So I started crying. Because I was like, fuck you. But I couldn't say that because I was only like, 6 or 7. And I don't want someone to let me win. I want someone to play me straight up. But I don't know if you ever do this, but I do this sometimes. When I know I'm better at something than someone and I let them like do better than you know when you can end something early, like a game of chess. Ping pong games, tennis, golf, whatever.
But you let it drag
golf,
on a bit.
Like golf is, obviously,
for you.
I'll fucking crush you every time. But like, but like, I would give you a chance.
I just cry.
So, but like, there are certain things where you're better than someone.
Hey, I'll get you on the ice, then we'll see what the story is.
I can't even fucking stand up. It won't be that hard.
But no, 100%.
Like, there are certain things that you go, all right, and it's almost like sick, but like, you let them participate and let them do a little bit better, and then it makes you feel better.
What was a closer game, right?
It's more enjoyable.
But no, I mean, I just think that it's...
Do you play chess?
Yeah.
Oh, we should have a
live
chess match.
I've not played for a while.
No, but what we could do is we could play the game of chess while we have the episode, and we can make moves while we talk.
Yeah, let's do it. But no, I think that kids need to learn to be competitive, to win, because it matters when we get into life. So
no participation medals in your eyes?
No, I don't agree with a participation medal. If you come first, you get a medal. Great. Participation medal, no. Pat on the back, well done. When
you get like a medal for 5th and 6th. I mean, I've heard of that before. It's like,
come on.
I mean, what color is it?
It should be brown. Right. I think we should end it on that.
Yeah, let's leave on the thought.
If anyone can see this screen, which obviously you can't, it says leave on a thought. Then it says underneath it, discuss this. What's thoughts about this? So we've actually forgot to put a thought in. Anyway,
I think
this has been a funny episode. It's been a funny episode for me anyway.
I've enjoyed this very much. This has been a fucking delight.
I've laughed my fucking ass.
We were crying at one point. It was great.
I had to get up and wipe my face.
I know.
But yeah, it's been a pleasure, my man.
It's nice to be back.
It's good to be back.
It's just good to be back.
Back in the studio.
Back in the saddle.
Yeah, but no, it's good. So thank you very much, Callum.
Yeah, thank you, Andy.
Guys, we'll see you in the next episode.
Yes, we will. Because this is never dying. Value proposition.
No.
It's never dying.
Actually, what was I going to say? Yeah. See you in the next episode.
See you next time. Okay. All right.